Ready.
Welcome to episode 34 of the Go Get 'em Agility podcast. My name is Margaret Hughes, and with me is my daughter, Emma Hughes. Hi,
Hi.
hi, Emma. Say hi again. Hi, Emma.
Oh, okay. Hi. I think we should keep that in. It
Let's-
adds vulnerability.
I don't know. Okay, so it is getting darker out every day. We're losing a little bit more daylight. We're in North America, and so we are coming into the winter months. And so I wanted to talk to you about training during the winter months.
Very exciting, very important.
Yeah, there used to be an off season that everybody would stop trialing in the winter, and we all go back into our houses and train. But that has changed over the years, and now there's trialing all year long. But I think it's also good to take some time off and, go back and do some basic training. And so I wanted to talk about how to utilize the winter months when it's not as easy to get outside and do some training in the winter months.
Yeah, sounds good.
You want to start?
Gosh, there's a lot of bits and pieces to it, isn't there, that you don't really think about unless you're actively doing it.
What do you mean?
I mean, like when I think of indoor training, right? I think of me and Dot sitting in the living room with one jump between us and doing one jump work, because that's really what the majority of my winter trainings have been in the past. But you could really do it with anything, couldn't you? I mean, you could stick a 2x2 if you have room into your wherever your living room or your bedroom or whatever, even your kitchen if you've got like mats down or something. You could do cones, all sorts of little fun little things.
Yeah, I think we should list them. I think
Oh boy,
I think we should list them.
Okay.
And let me just start by saying that when you were little, when Millie first came into our lives, so Millie's first year 1 and year 2, you did a bulk of your training in the bathroom. Did you know that?
I remember, I think you have a video of it. I don't remember it, but I think there's a video of me training Millie to hit the toilet roll, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. You used to train her
She's
to
so
do a bunch
funny.
of tricks. But yeah, you did a lot of your training in the bathroom because you could get away from the other dogs
Yeah, and the cats.
and the cats. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to bug you for treats. That's
They
right.
still do.
So yeah,
Uh,
so I kind of want to stay specific to agility, but if you're needing basic obedience, my gosh, there's a ton you can do with basic obedience as well. And trick training, right? I mean, the list can
yeah. The
literally
house
go on and on.
at the very, very, very least, even if you're not doing agility training in the house, it provides generalization, right? Your dog's probably never done anything in the house before that has to do with like agility or something that's close to it. And so if you stick a cone in the middle of the living room, you're teaching them that, hey, cones can pop up anywhere and we can work through them.
That's true. Although I was just talking with somebody that has been teaching their weave pulls in their living room. So they've gone all the way to 6. They're doing channel weaves, and they had them in the living room, and they decided to take the dog outside and try the weave pulls outside. Dog couldn't do it.
Oh,
So dogs will generalize the opposite direction as well, or be specific in the opposite direction where you train them only in the house. And I call it kitchen training. So they get really good at kitchen training, and then they have to learn how to take it outside of the house.
mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about basically, you could do new behaviors, but I'm talking about behaviors that your dog kind of already knows. They have a good idea, but you want to strengthen them. Or
Right. So bring them in the house. I mean, that's a new environment, right? I don't mean to keep coming back to this point, but I'm not saying you're teaching them something new in the house. I'm saying you've been doing cone work with your 6-month-old puppy and now it's snowing and we bring it in the house. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I mean, it's great
Yeah.
for changing locations. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I wanted to talk about just staying dry and still training your dog, right? You
Yeah. Or
can't.
even if you're in like California or Arizona and it's really, really hot outside and you have a nice house where you can be away from the blazing sun, this is also applicable, I think.
Oh, you mean for summer training?
Yeah, if it's
Summer
really, really
training in
warm.
the. Okay, so yeah,
I mean,
summer.
I'm assuming that we're cool enough that we have people in Arizona and California and
Well, we
maybe
have
other
at least
countries that
one
are
I
hot,
know.
but
We have at least one that I know.
I mean, I guess there's Texas in there.
There's
Interesting.
somebody in Texas we know.
I
Uh,
wonder who that is.
so yeah, so okay, so hot summer months for my southern friends, and then cold winter months for the northern friends. Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming into winter where we live, so we're going to talk about winter training. All right. So I think one of the best things to teach with one jump, like you brought up the one jump earlier, teaching on one jump, so much you can train on just one jump. And you don't even have to have a very big bar. You could literally have a 3-foot bar, even for your big dogs, because you're not doing a huge amount of big jumping. You're just getting them to go around the jump stanchion. And that is verbals. Teaching, if you want to train verbals, bringing a one jump into your living room, teach all your verbals. What does jump mean? What does around or tight mean? So you have a regular jump with just a gentle turn, right? Then you have a tight turn, a tight wrap. That's a good one for in the living room. Then you have your rear cross. You have your backside wrap around the wing. And then you have your backside slice. What else? What am I missing? I think
I
that's it.
think as well, anything that doesn't have a ton of speed behind it, you can do whatever you need on the jump as long as you have space. Um, but with this, I'm not saying that we should be pushing for speed in the indoor training. That is, I think,
No,
the only issue
no.
that indoor training gives us is that you can't really be fast indoors. And if you are, that is a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
I'm talking about almost trotting,
yeah,
right? I mean, even
yeah,
walking. It doesn't have to be, and the bar is super low.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for our big dogs, they can be jumping 12 as long as they're not knocking the bar, right? There's a little bit of
Hmm.
a lift there.
Yeah.
However, for dogs that are don't even need a bar, as long as you have 2 jump stanchions, then you can help them distinguish between the backside and the front side,
Yeah.
right? If you're working on just one jump stanchion, then you're basically just working wraps, and you can work rear cross, but you have to be able to visualize where the
Yeah.
other side of the
You can
jump,
even work your crosses without a jump at all.
right?
But I think the issue is if you're doing it in the living room or in your bedroom or something and you're spinning around the room, they're going to be like, oh, I'll jump up on the couch then because that's where you're facing. Or, oh, I'll jump up on the bed then because that's where you're facing.
Yeah, but
Um,
if your placement of reward is correct, they won't.
yeah, but if you're, kind of not used to the space that you are in,
Yeah, they'll learn.
not that it's an issue. I mean, it's like if they jump on the couch, so what, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So if you're working all your verbals, I do think that having a full jump with or without a bar, but having 2 jump stanchions helps to distinguish between the backside and the front side. Right. So I think you need
yeah,
full jump for verbals anyway. But if you're just working technique of turning away from you or turning into you, I think you only need 1 jump stanchion.
I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
All right, so we got verbals on 1 jump. Something that I'm working with Eli currently, in fact, I just worked on it this morning, is we are doing 1 jump work and we are working foot technique. So him lifting his feet up, not ticking the bar, not knocking the bar. And I'm literally sat on the floor with the jump there. And I'm not even telling him jump, but his job is to take the jump, wrap the wing that I'm closest to, without knocking or ticking the bar. So I'm sat down and he's offering going around the wing. And today we worked on me rewarding him on the takeoff side. So he takes off, jumps, wraps the wing, comes back and gets a reward, does it again. And I go to all four corners of the jump stanchion. That means I go from my right side, then I go to my left side, then I go and face I go to every side of the wings. Does that make sense?
See, didn't I tell you we were talking about this earlier, and I said it's really hard to talk about jumps through through words alone, through an oral presentation alone.
It is.
Because you can't really explain it unless you have a visual, right?
Okay, so if you put a jump out and you labeled each side of the jump A, B, C, D. So
right, and you're talking about each side of the wing.
Yeah, so
yeah,
one wing side is A. On the other side of the jump, it would be B. Then you go to the back side. Now we're on C, and then you come over. I don't know. I see it as a square, as a rectangle. I see a jump and I'm sitting in each corner of the rectangle with the jump dead center.
Right. Okay.
That makes
sense.
That's
a good way to do it. Yeah, that's a really good way to
can you visualize that?
I can.
I'm in each corner with the jump center. The wings are on the edges.
Yeah.
Okay. So corner A, corner B, corner C, corner D. So I go to each one of those corners, and depending on which corner I'm in, Eli had to jump, wrap the wing, and come back to my corner to get rewarded. So I was doing takeoff side rewards. Tomorrow, the cookie is going to be thrown to the landing side. So he has to jump towards me, wrap the wing away from me to get his reward, and then jump towards me again, wrap the wing to get his reward. So I'll be throwing the wing to the landing side. All right. Enough about one jump work, yes?
We could talk about one jump work till the cows come home.
Well, let's go on to something else. We might come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay, what else can we so
are we gonna tell them about the time we took a dog walk plank and put it in the hallway to practice contacts? Are we gonna tell them about that?
I was just about to talk about hallways. So that is one thing that we did do. You were working on contacts. I think it was snowing that or something. Anyway, we dragged a dog walk plank upstairs into our that's the longest hallway we have is upstairs. And yeah, I remember holding it up while Dot ran down it.
Yeah.
Then I think we put it on a chair or something.
I think so. Because it wasn't high at all. It was like maybe, I don't know, a few inches off the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't that high at all. But yeah, and it was hard because we don't have a terribly long hallway. And I remember her having to go off the dog walk plank, maybe like 6 or 8 feet to the reward.
And I also remember that one of the biggest things I was not criticized, but when you're teaching, the way that I was taught to teach dog walk contacts is that you kind of hang back and let the dog hit the contact and get the reward in front of you. And I had a really, really bad habit of meeting Dot at the reward. And the hallway actually forced me to stay behind because there wasn't enough space width wise for me and her to be next to each other. I mean, we would be like literally like a foot apart, and she would be like, "What are you doing?"
Without squishing
and so it actually taught me to stay back because like I couldn't be next to her, which is actually quite good. I
do think dragging a dog walk plank into the hallway is a little extreme though for
women. Well, yeah, it's a little insane. Like you know when you like tell people stuff and they're just like, "Oh, okay," and then you realize that's not normal.
What were we thinking? I haven't done that yet with Eli, but I have contemplated bringing the target mat, my running contact mat in.
Oh yeah, well I taught Dottie indoors with the running contact mat.
That's true. You did start. Yeah, you started inside with your backup work, your your box work.
Yeah,
you were doing.
It was good. She was a good girl.
Yeah, I remember that. So the other thing I was thinking though, as far as the hallway goes, is go training,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like teaching your dog to go on the verbal go and run to
Yeah.
the end of the hallway.
The issue with hallways is that if they aren't carpeted or if there isn't some kind of like mat or, rug down, they can get kind of slippery for your
Yeah,
dog.
I would definitely
So,
have some sort of traction mat,
yeah.
a floor runner or something.
Yeah, those are really good.
I've had multiple of my students do weave pulls in the hallway.
Yeah, that would be great because they're so long and like funky to,
Yeah,
you know.
and similar to your dog walk problem, it forces you to kind of stay back.
Yeah, it
Otherwise,
does.
you're really squishing the dog. Or you could work convergence, I guess, if that's something you want
Yeah,
to do.
you could.
I'm right
Yeah.
next to you. Keep weaving.
Yeah.
What else could you teach in a hallway? Oh, I teach stays in my hallway. So
Mm,
Eli
mhm.
has to stay at one end of the hallway and I go to the far end and then I start dropping cookies down and I'm in between the cookies and him.
Yeah.
So if he breaks, I can stop him from getting the cookies that I've already dropped
Yeah.
and then I release him.
Speaking of convergence, you could do, I don't know how to describe it. But when a lot of people will do it at the beginning of a release, and so you have the jump right here, right? And then you go over like that, and then they come around in a loop. What would you call that? I'm not
You mean where you're
um
sending the dog to the jump?
no, so like you're like, oh golly,
She's
you're
standing
like
up,
this.
everybody. She's going to demo for me, but she
Yeah, I'm demoing.
has to do this
So
in audio.
so the jump is here, right? And you go right here, come over this way, and then we go that way.
Oh, so you're
It's
pulling
convergence, but
them.
I forget what it's called. Is
Yeah,
it
so
called something?
it's called if the dog's got a little bit
My
of
point being is that if you
start
had
line.
your jump, if you had your hallway like this, right? My
Okay.
eyes are the hallway, and your jump is parallel to the hallway. You can set your dog up right here, and they go like that.
Okay, you're working on a bend. So it's two
Yeah.
things. One, a lead out push
Oh,
would be so a recall to a so you're recalling your dog to you.
yeah, but it's not like
They're
I'm
wrapping.
saying you have a jump with you.
No, I
Here,
know they're
I'll
wrapping the wing of the
draw
jumping
for you.
back towards you.
Yeah,
So
I'm drawing it, guys.
it's called a,
Um,
I'll tell you what it's called. It's called a backup recall.
sometimes I think you just make things up.
I did not make that up
Sometimes I think you just say things to
because,
me, and I just have to believe it
okay,
because
well,
I don't
that's what
know.
Linda Mecklenburg calls it.
Oh, well, now I feel bad. I love you, Linda Mecklenburg. So it's like that.
Okay, and you could also turn, so she is,
Did
I'm
you
going
make
to
my
post
drawing?
for anybody that's on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and post this photo that she's drawn. That it would
Oh, wait,
look
let me
like,
draw a smile on my face. I love doing agility. So we're smiling.
but would that not just be yeah, that would be a backup recall.
Yeah, but you're
And you could turn the
standing the
jump,
entire time.
you could turn the jump any direction. So now turn the jump the other direction. Okay, dog is in a sit stay and you're on the side of the jump. Well,
So you're not moving.
okay.
You're
Hold on.
doing, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
draw. Let me draw. Hold on. I need a piece of paper.
I have to think. I'm like, oh, you always do the feet thing, and I don't understand. Why
The feet of the
the
human.
Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. Yes. But I would have the dog on the other side of the jump. Like same side of the jump, just on the
Well, you
so
could
like
do all
this.
sorts of sides. You could
Yeah,
do,
but my point was that it
yeah.
was a
So,
convergence. We were talking about convergence.
oh, so you're doing like a slice to convergence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could do just a ton of different things
Yeah.
with the skinny
Anyway,
hallway.
oh goodness, I can't believe we went on this.
I can't believe we have to go
thing.
to graphics. This is
I
terrible for
know.
an
This is
audio.
bad.
All right, so let's explain this. So we
Okay.
have a skinny hallway. Emma drew a huge hallway, but we're going to go with the skinny hallway, and the jump is lengthwise to the hallway.
Yeah, your jump is
Okay,
parallel with your
and the
hallway.
dog can be at any angle coming into you for
Hmm.
convergence training. So they could be on the same wing, going around the wing. That would be a bend. Or they can be on the opposite wing. That would be a slice. So
Yeah,
not only would you be working your stays, you'd also be working jump commitment. You would be working
yeah.
slice commitment. You would be
You
working
could do it with a
virgin,
perfectly square living room or something as well, but I think it's harder in the hallway because you don't have anywhere to move. So you
especially
kind
the
of have
bigger
to
the
just
dog.
sit there.
So the
Yeah,
bigger the
yeah, if you
dog,
have a border
have the.
collie or something.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we're done with the hallway.
Yeah, I like the hallway section.
I
I
think
thought
the
that was
hallway
fun.
really befuddled us with
Yeah,
our drawings.
yeah. You could probably work in the
Main,
garage too if you really wanted to, if you have a garage. I
yeah,
just
but
remember
again,
reading a book, an agility book. It wasn't like a proper book, it was a fiction book. And I remember he trained his dog in the garage, and that was like they all the kids made fun of him. I forget what book it was
I guess
called.
the most important thing is traction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That you have,
you need stuff down,
yeah.
especially in the garage.
I
Oh
know
gosh.
people that use huge like yoga mat. They're like these massive,
Yeah.
like you could put a bicycle on it.
You can get like stuff for like gymnastics. They have like those spongy like puzzle piece type things
Yeah, you could
that you
use,
can go like
yeah,
um
gymnastics or kids daycare. They have them.
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, garage or hallway or kitchen, wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have some good traction for your dog. Enya Hubble has a basement that she uses
Mm.
for training, and with Sweden being dark a good chunk of the winter, she does a ton of training in her basement for her verbals.
Mm.
Yeah.
Probably why she's so good. Did you see she did really well with her border collie Zane? And Hubble, if you're listening, we admire you very greatly.
Thank you.
um
All right. So, what about stairs?
oh yeah. Should we tell them about my dream where I had a dream last night that Dottie went all the way down to the bottom of the stairs? There's a theory, according to some people, that if your dog runs to the bottom of the stairs, they're more likely to run to the bottom of the contacts. I don't know if that's true. I
I don't think we
don't.
have any scientific data on
We
that, but
don't.
that
We
is an
don't.
interesting theory.
It's an interesting theory.
Okay,
But
what's your point?
regardless of that, my point being is that you can use the stairs for two on two off work. Um, just the first like two stairs, don't have them go up the stairs, indefinitely. But I know that you also use the stairs for Eli. You will throw food up at the top, won't you? And
Yeah,
you'll have him run up
I'll
the
do
stairs,
some
eat it,
sometimes.
and then come
I
back down. And it's
Yeah,
conditioning, isn't it?
it's more conditioning. I don't do it very often, but yeah, I throw food. He has to wait at the bottom. I throw food to the top, and he gets to run to the top of the stairs. And then I throw food on the stairs so that he has to walk back down.
Yeah.
So he walks down, he runs up, walks down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good conditioning, I think. And like you say, everything in moderation.
I've also
Um,
taught him to back up the stairs.
like all the way up the stairs.
He has gone all the way up the stairs. Yeah.
But see, I was wondering about that. That's why I said don't have your dog go up the stairs indefinitely. But I guess if it's,
Well, I started it just on a couple of
you know,
stairs.
yeah, if
And
he's
then
figured it
he
out, then
managed to
he
do
knows.
5 stairs. So we have our stairs go up 5 or so, has a landing, then it turns and goes up, I don't know, another 10. And I was just doing the bottom 5 and he did it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're very clever. So
Wow.
then I had him turn. I think this was in a different session. I had him go up the all 10 stairs and he did it. I was really impressed.
Yeah, he's a very good
Yeah.
boy.
But he's only done that once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like him that working
Did
his
you
back feet.
use the stairs for Jinx's two on two off work? I know you used the
I did
couch. I remember you setting the couch, what's it
the
called?
ottoman, the
The
ottoman.
ottoman. I remember you setting the ottoman against the fireplace, and I have a video of him backing up and like he flung his back feet out in the air. It's very cute. But I wondered if you'd done it on the stairs as well.
I did.
Okay.
I worked Jinx's 2 on 2 off on the stairs, on cardboard boxes, uh, on anything and everything. I did the couch as well, but he struggled with the couch. I tried the wall. He really struggled with the wall. I don't think I ever got him to
That
do
would
straight up
be
on the wall.
hard muscle wise for a dog, I think.
Yeah, but I
Unless they're
did.
really close to the wall and they were able to fold themselves up.
Yeah, I did the ottoman. I did the fireplace mantle.
Hmm.
Um, did the dog or the A frame, but that's not
Yeah.
indoors. Yeah, I like stair
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, and you can do it on those like little balance pods or whatever as well that obedience or not, oh my gosh, obedience. Yoga people get. I don't know why I said obedience.
Yeah,
Yoga people get like those balance pods and you can use it for your dog.
yeah,
They
and
also
now
have ones made for dogs, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
and I've got Cato boards now.
That's right. I
So
forget about those.
I've done backing up on a Cato board. It was
Hmm.
outside when I did it, but I could certainly bring the Cato board in and do some backing up on the Cato board.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
All right.
Dottie and I did a lot of balance pod work inside. A lot. Like a ton.
Hmm.
For her contact training. It was
Oh,
good.
backing up onto it.
Yeah, and like moving around it, spinning around it, front feet, back feet. You probably do your, both left front and back paw, right front and back paw, but I don't know what that would
I think the
teach them other than mindfulness of you have four paws.
right. Yeah.
But that is my most fun fact about dogs is that they don't know that they have back feet unless you teach them. So yeah, if you're wondering why your dog isn't doing the 2 on 2 off, maybe teach them they have back feet. They
Yeah,
don't know.
and just basic body awareness that they can utilize those back feet.
Hmm.
Definitely. All right. I have two more. So I have two that I'm thinking about for your end of your run. Getting dressed, right? Getting your leash back on. So teaching your dog to get dressed. That's an easy indoor training thing for the winter. Or jump into your arms, right? So jump into your
Yeah,
arms.
we taught Dottie off the couch, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I taught Eli sitting in a chair and then worked that up to him jumping into my
yeah,
arms in the living room. So yeah, get dressed and then jump into your arms. Those are two end of run routines that are
yeah,
very, very valuable, rather than going and looking
yeah.
for another dog or
I have started to teach Dottie to retrieve her leash indoors. I think only did it 1 or 2 times indoors because it was summer, so I just went outside. But you could definitely do it indoors if that is something that you want in your end routine as well. Go find your leash and bring it to me.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
All right. What else? Just body work. I have body work written down, right? Like laying
yeah,
down, massaging,
yeah.
that sort of.
Yeah. But all this is to say is also that you can also give your dog a break, right?
True.
Like
Yes.
it's you don't have to be doing all this stuff. I think especially now that I'm in university, I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm gonna come home and Dottie's probably not gonna be in the best shape that she's ever been because I've been gone for months on end and that's okay. It's fine. We'll figure it out. I think as well as the dog. See, this is the I always try to bring this in every agility conversation. You can also work out as well. I'm not saying that you should or you have to, but yoga's been really nice for me. I've done a lot of yoga and I think it's really helped my agility
You mean
strengths.
yoga with the dog?
Oh, well, see, I don't have a dog. If you let me get a puppy over here, then
You could do yoga
maybe.
with Dot.
Put her on the video. I'm like, Daddy, come here. Let's do yoga. Um, yeah. So yoga's been really good for me. I
Yeah,
really
so
do
just
enjoy it.
basic fitness for yourself indoors.
Yeah, and I'm
Always.
not saying that you have to, right? I mean, everybody has their own level of fitness, but it really has helped me. It really has, I think.
Hmm. Yeah. No, and I want to get better. I do a lot of stretching and stuff, but I don't do a whole other than agility. I don't focus on my fitness very well. I could definitely improve
Well,
in that arena.
yeah, and it's not like, and agility is a weird sport as well because you can, you don't have to be like a Michael Phelps athlete, right, to be incredibly successful in agility. So it's not saying that you should or you have to or you should feel obligated, right? Um, I
I
just
guess
think
more just for general
it
health.
passes the time, right?
Well, I think, yeah, but I think just for general health, right? For just
Right.
being a healthy person and making yourself feel, taking in
Yeah.
good oxygen. I think that's always a good thing. But
Yeah.
we're not experts in the fitness area. So
No.
yeah, we're
No.
experts in agility. Some would say.
Some would say. Yeah, exactly. So I'd imagine.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, fitness for me, I want to improve that. And I do bits, but man,
But it's not, yeah, and
all of
it's
my
not even
work
just
comes in.
that. It's what? Oh, sorry. I
Well,
didn't
just
realize
all
you were
my
still
fitness
talking.
comes in an agility generally.
Right. Well, and that's just it, is like agility was the one source of fitness for a while for me. And then you would take like the break in the winter, right? And you do one jump work or whatever in the winter and you just be sitting. And then I get like on cars, I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, but I mean, if you're willing to work through that, right? And take a break, right? So it is whatever you desire.
Well, I suppose that we need to bring up then, if we're not doing a whole lot of fitness for the dog, whether it be just because it's really gross outside, is keeping them in shape through the winter and, either cutting down on what they would normally get in a meal, right? If we're taking away some of the fitness, take away some of the meal as well so that they don't gain weight, right? And just keep them as fit as you can through the winter months,
Hmm.
regardless of what the weather's out like outside, which can be tough.
Yeah, it's important to maintain that muscle.
All right. Anything else?
Cool. I don't think so.
Let me just say this, when the weather is yucky outside, I have seen people go outside and do agility in the snow and they think it's fun. I think it's a little dangerous. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of doing agility in the snow. I get the camaraderie of it, or the comedy of it. Like, oh, look, they're doing weave pulls, bouncing in the snow. And I suppose the slower dogs is not as bad, but I don't know. I think just letting them run around in the snow is fitness enough. I don't think we need to add agility to it. Definitely not jumping. And
Just because they slip, don't they? And then everybody's
yeah,
sad and
yeah. I
it's
mean,
cold and then they get all, if they have long hair, they get everything matted and yeah, agility's hard. And the issue is also like your tunnels will become frozen and like crispy and crunchy and gross and
yeah,
really brittle.
a lot of ice pools in our, if I don't stand them up on end, there's condensation in there and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
condensation turns to ice. So
Yeah. And the same
definitely,
with like the rubber of the dog walk, you send them up it and everybody goes sliding. It's
yeah.
not fun.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge, I know a lot of people that do it. A lot of people post it online when when it snows out and they get their dogs out doing snow agility. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think it also can be dog dependent. I think really slow dogs don't have as much risk as fast dogs do, but I don't know. I think there are other ways to play with our dogs in the snow. So yeah. And we have hairy dogs in general, so the snow balls up on them. And I
So
don't,
annoying.
yeah, I don't like that. I think
Yeah.
it's very uncomfortable for them to do anything.
Yeah, well, yeah, then it burns their skin because it's so cold, and
Yeah.
then
And there are
everybody
hacks
feels
out there
bad.
for that. So anyway, keep your dog safe in the winter, in the sun, in the, with agility out in the snow and ice and stuff. Um, and mud can be just as slippery, right? So we got to be
Yeah,
careful with
heavy rain.
muddy
Yeah.
muddy fields running in agility. So I think sometimes it's fun to come inside, keep our dogs' minds active, have fun training them for verbals and maybe some just offering of the jump distance, adding a little more distance. Yeah, and keeping their mind sharp with agility and having something to do inside. So is that it? Anything else?
I don't think so. Are you gonna post the picture that I drew for everybody?
Yes, I am. So if you're on audio, if you're on a podcast in your car, then you can get on YouTube and I'll post it up on YouTube when we talk about that part of it. So, all right.
All
I love
right.
you, Ann.
I love you too, and I love you as well. Go get them, agility listeners.
Yes. All right. Woof woof.
Yeah. Bye. And say hi to Dot for me.
I
Kiss
will.
her for me on her little head,
I
on
will.
her little blaze.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Ready.